Well, another sword rework and people are calling it the best sword in the game. Does Dragon Trident or the new AoE sword really live up to the hype that a lot of YouTubers are giving it? Well, we're going to answer that today with an official Blox Fruit Bandits breakdown. And of course, we're going to talk about some techniques that you can use to help counter people taking advantage of this sword's massive hitboxes. As always, each video has a Perm Fruit giveaway, so if you're here for that, leave a comment and you might win. And we'll update the pinned comment to show who won in that video. On this channel, we focus purely on the PvP aspects of Blox Fruit, so watch a different video on how to get Dragon Trident. This channel is all about getting into the nitty-gritty, the deep details, the nerd stuff. So let's go. If you watched our first breakdown video versus Ice, I've been using Dragon Trident since before update 20, and once the reworks dropped, I knew it was going to be a problem. The homie Box reached out in Discord and recommended we do what we do best and tell the people what's good with Dragon Trident. Shoutouts to Box, go show his channel some love. 30 million bounty and honor, bro is killing it on Blox Fruits and on YouTube, link in the description below. So I wasn't a believer on the new Dragon Trident until I learned about the X Slam Dunk effect, and we'll cover that and some options you have against it, so we can take a quote-unquote broken sword and make it a little bit more fair. That way, when you take their bounty, it'll feel even sweeter knowing that you're just better. Overall, Dragon Trident has some strong pros: huge hitbox on Z and a massive hitbox on X, strong damaging poke with Z, and a reliable instinct-breaking combo starter with X, and very little end lag on moves. Cons-wise, there's a few issues, like no mobility moves at all, so you're stationary when you use it, only one consistent combo starter with X, two different effects on X, and technically an escape window on X that I'm really excited to break down for you. Remember, with the new enchantments, the numbers are subject to change, so just be mindful of the base cooldowns and that they can differ by plus or minus 2 to 3 seconds. With that in mind, let's get it. Dragon Trident Z. Dragon Trident Z is a cylindrical projectile with a cooldown of 9 seconds. You fire a projectile similar to Soul Guitar Z, but more of a water ball that sends the opponent back and splashes either on impact or after a certain distance. It's a two-part move, with the first part breaking instant. You can technically dodge this move if it's not a direct hit, but the hitbox is still massive. After the first hit, you're carried backwards and damaged several times. These hits of damage are kentrickable, and while it still pushes you, you can negate the damage with a kentrick. It's not as reliable of a combo starter as, say, Kabucha X or even Soul Guitar X, but there is some potential if you're close enough. I would prefer you use this move as a finisher since you can throw it at the ground and the splash has a good chance to hit. Defense-wise, since it's not really a combo starter, your opponent will probably use it to either poke or finish a combo. Poke-wise, you can either dodge it, or if you get hit, you can kentrick the secondary damage. There is some downtime if they whip, but not much, so you could try to punish, but only if you're super close. Since it has a decent range, any use of this move in neutral will generally not lead into a combo unless they're super close, so once you see them pull out Dragon Trident in neutral, they're probably just gonna poke with this move, so just get ready to dodge. So super quick recap on the defenses. Get ready to dodge if you see them pull out Dragon Trident at medium to long range, and if you do get hit, kentrick after the first hit. Okay, the reason we're all here. Dragon Trident X. Dragon Trident X is a two-part short move with a cooldown of 14 seconds, with an absolutely massive hitbox, but not all hitboxes are created equal. This move actually has different properties when cast on the ground or in the air, so let's break them each down. On the ground, a whirlpool spawns in the middle where you cast it, and it shoots out splashes that hit at points around the whirlpool. The whirlpool itself vacuums the user inwards towards the center. The splashes, however, knock the user straight upwards. Offense-wise, this move is godlike. You can throw it out blindly, and if they get stuck, they're sent towards the middle of the whirlpool for a combo. The outward splashes, though, aren't great, since when they're knocked up, they can immediately act, not like with Soul Guitar X, so not much of a follow-up here. It's basically like a, hey, you whiffed it, but we'll give you some damage, I guess. Also, Godhuman C into max range, grounded Dragon Trident X is a thing. Yeah, so that's kind of a combo starter. So let's talk about defenses so you don't just Alt F4 when you see this move. So technically, every hit of this move breaks Ken, so there's no point in even pressing the E button, just take that key off the keyboard. If you're in the vacuum, technically you're stuck for about 2 seconds if you do not dash. Note that the caster can act after about 0.5 to 0.7 seconds, so they have time to combo. If you do try to throw moves while in the vacuum though, they kind of get eaten and pretty much do nothing. However, here's your important Blox Fruit Bandits nerd tip. If you spam dash, you could spam either a move or flash step. The timing is something that I haven't really been able to get fine-tuned to a science, but I've had the most success dashing either to the left or the right, perpendicular to the direction you're getting pulled in, and spamming flash step. So spam dash, spam flash step. This has gotten me out 1 second sooner. Remember, the caster won't always be at the center of the move. This might give you enough time to leverage this tech and flash step out. This is the only way I've been able to escape some of the Dragon Trident combos from this move specifically. Now, it's important to note that in lag sometimes, this window is inconsistent, but it's worth it to spam dash and flash step because you're stuck either way. Additionally, there is an audio cue. When you hear the splash of the water before the whirlpool spawns, you technically can flash step on reaction if you hear this, but it's too tight of a time window to be a genuine tip, especially since lag is a huge concern. But I'm throwing this in here so you know that it's possible. I mean, worst case, spam dash and flash step when you hear the audio cue and you either get out before it hits you, or you just get out via this normal tech window I just showed you. So recap, if you see them whip out the trident at mid to close range, get ready to spam dash and flash step. If you get caught in the whirlpool, dash perpendicular to the pool and spam flash step away, and hopefully you get out in time. Now, what makes this move an actual problem is the aerial version. It's like you're on the court and you're much taller than you are in real life. Anyone below the move is immediately slam dunk and send downwards towards the center of the move. You can use this move above a dashing opponent and they'll get sent straight down. And once they're sent downwards, the properties are exactly the same as the vacuum towards the center. So the defenses are the same. Offense-wise, it finally gives Dragon Trident more use against air campers since it sends them straight down, holds them in place. So if you're the victim of this and you get sent straight down, remember the same defenses. If you're sent straight downwards, spam dash and flash step. And depending on their position, you might be able to punish with a move. I encourage you to take this to the lab and practice these defenses yourself against the Dragon Trident user. All right, let's move on to enchantments. As a gun main, Strong Grip has been really solid, and I'm kind of a believer in Strong Grip now. Dragon Trident does a good job at starting a combo with X, so I like the extra damage. You could go with Unreal here too, if you prefer the shorter cooldown as a Blox Fruit or a gun main, but remember, you're sacrificing like 2,000 damage for about 2.8 seconds of cooldown reduction on X at the most, so it's up to you if you think it's worth it. As a sword main, Sharpshooter has been nerfed, but in my opinion, 10% damage for 20% longer cooldowns is not worth it when you could just go Masterpiece for a 5% damage buff, which is only 5% less, for an 8% cooldown reduction. Blessing-wise, I like C or Frozen. Both of these do a good job in 1v1 to either reduce their health regen to basically 0 or reduce their movement speed by a lot. That way, if they do Kentrick, if they rely on dashing to get out of your move, it'll be much harder for them to get away. If you're a sword main though, Burning does a decent chunk of extra damage, so that might be worth, especially paired with the multi-hits that Dragon Trident brings. Dragon Trident X is an insane combo starter or extender, so I encourage you to get creative with your own combos, but here's 3 combos to hold you over if you're not feeling that creative. Here's 2 Godhuman combos for you. The first one's based off a Gilfie's combo, and shout out to Gilfie for the Godhuman C into Z combo. Godhuman C into any flash step move, in this case we use Portal F, but Rumble F works too, into Dragon Trident X straight down, into Godhuman Z and X, followed by Dragon Trident Z for the kill. Another one is Godhuman C into max range Dragon Trident X, followed by Godhuman Z into aimed X, followed by Dragon Trident Z for the kill. For Sanguine art, Sanguine Z into Dragon Trident X, into Sanguine C, into Sanguine X, and finish with Dragon Trident Z. As always, let's check out some PvP. First fight, I charge Godhuman C versus Pop Z with Sand, hit him with Godhuman X since he has Cyborg V3. He jumps and I catch him with Dragon Trident X into Z and shoot for Godhuman Z, but I'm too far. Should've flash step. He hits me with Dragon Trident X and Z, and I use the tech to spam dash and Portal X to get me to safety. I lost him for a sec, but used audio cues from dash to reorient myself. Poke with Dragon Trident Z, he guitar Z's, and I Portal M1 out. I Portal F up, and his sand moves waste by Dragon Trident X, which sucks, so I charge Godhuman C since he's super low, and wrap it up with a Dragon Trident Z right after for the kill. Next fight, Frog with Quake and me with Sanguine. Tsunami is out, and I use Guitar Z to cover my left side approach. Hop Guitar X early because he's been aggressive this whole time. Aerial Dragon Trident X catches him into Sanguine C into Z, but X goes straight up because of the mouse snapping glitch, and so does Dragon Trident Z. Both Cyborg V3s are down, so I stay aggressive and try to catch him with Portal X, and on the way out, I catch him with Portal Z into Dragon Trident X, but the Portal Slam still knocked him up, and I miss Sanguine Z. He backs off and pops Godhuman C, but I'm too far for the Quake Z to hit, and I get Sanguine C off. My cooldown management sucks though, so I miss the follow-up. He's low, so I put pressure on him and try to stay in his space, misses Sanguine Z, but Portal Z into Dragon Trident X takes the W. Let's do a gun main fight. Here, I got an earlier poke and cut the footage, but Pop Z is super aggressive as always in flash step, Soul Guitar X's, and I back off. Charge Godhuman C and show a perfect execution of the combo. Portal F, Dragon Trident X straight down, and this time Acidum Z into X for the KO. That doesn't always work, but when it does, it looks way too broken. And that's the breakdown. I hope you enjoyed it. Dragon Trident has been a problem, as called out by a lot of YouTubers, but I'm hoping you can leverage some of this tech to at least give you some options and know that not all hope is lost. Take some bounty on behalf of the Blox Fruit Bandits. We appreciate you. Hope you learned something. Leave a like if you like this type of content. We'll do more of it. If we missed something cool, which you probably did, let us know in the comments so we can try to make a part 2. And we'll see you next time for the next deep dive.